Hello and welcome to another episode of ZED Talk's Leaguecast Fixes Champions. This week we'll be talking about Hecarim, Heimerdinger, Illaoi, Irelia, Ivern. This week joining me is just Nick the King Cooper.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's good?
Little solo bolo with the boy.
Well, kind of dulo
bulo?
bulo. That's good, man.
We'll workshop that.
League. You just want to jump into it?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hecarim. So we actually were talking about this a little bit before. We think the only characters that are like really messed up here are Heimerdinger and Illaoi. So we might like skim past like Hecarim, Irelia, and Ivern when we get to them. But like starting with Hecarim, I actually think the character's like pretty fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of this is going to be us briefly talking about characters that don't need a lot of help. But maybe we can address some of the problematic areas. If you were to highlight a problematic area, I wouldn't even say weakness because champions should have weaknesses, but a problematic area in Hecarim, like where would you point to, I guess?
So the two things I would point to, one of which I don't think you should fix, one that I do think you should fix is his ultimate. I think his ultimate is like, it's too free in how you can use it. You can use it as an escape. You can use it as an engage. You can use it as like a mass team displacement. You know, it's fierce for too long. It's too much of a utility spell. I don't know. It feels like it's just too strong in every regard. And the other area, which I don't think you should fix, is we talked about this on the show earlier, is we had a tier of junglers called the S tier, and we had a second tier where I called them the S tier only because my teammates can't learn how to play against them. And I think Hecarim fills in that area where he just like Nunu, like Zac, like whatever. He just comes in at Mach 12 past all the ward lines, traditional ward linings, and just kills people. And I feel like I kind of hate characters that change how the game is played. Like, I should ward here, but instead I'm playing at Zac, Hecarim, whatever the fuck, so I have to ward these areas instead. But maybe that's good for the game. I just, like, kind of find it annoying because, like, you lose games to stuff that I think are a little bit silly.
No, I agree with you. I think Evelyn's a really good example of, like, okay, if you're playing against Evelyn, you never ward the river or anything because you just have to ward a camp.
Yeah.
Like, and just try to guess where she is. I agree with you. So I think like, what if I think this is fucking cancer, by the way, but I'm gonna suggest it anyway. What if his ult fear duration scaled down by the number of nearby, like by the number of champions it hits? So if you hit like a 5-man fear, like it's you're not gonna be feared for as long. But it can still function as like that team fight displacement.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it right now. So right now it's a 0.75 second fear to 2 second fear based on how far he ults, which I do like the idea of like the further distance he ults, like the bigger fear, because it gives you counterplay, right? But also, do you know that the slow increases as you get feared away?
I'll be honest, I did not realize that there was a slow. Is it the slow attached? Excuse me. Was it the slow attached to? Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Did you know, like, I think that's the only slow in the game that scales up, though.
Yeah.
Like, the most slow is, like, taper off, but Wither. His goes Wither, I guess Wither, yeah. No, yeah, you're right. But it scales up to 99%.
Wow, that's a lot. Was that a recent change, or has it always been like that?
No, it doesn't say, like, what it starts at, though. It just says, like, slowing them by up to 99% over the... Maybe it doesn't. Oh, no, and gradually slowing them by up to 99% over the duration. Yeah, that definitely scales up, then.
Oh, okay. So maybe does it say it scales with that, or is it like the fear attached to the slow starts at like a 60% slow, and as the fear like duration increases, the slow increases as well?
I'll read the exact words. It's messy. Enemies within the range where Hecarim stops are also made to flee from him for whatever the 0.75 to 2 seconds. Also, gradually slowing them by up to 99% over the duration.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. The slow strength is cannot be reduced and is based on how far affected units are from Hecarim, having no slow at all from the very close. So, okay, so like if you're like at the very tip, you get a 99% slow. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Like the range of the AoE.
Yeah. Damn.
Wait, so that's that's a fucking powerful ability.
Yeah. Holy shit.
You almost want to like hit them on the tip, like.
Yeah.
Somehow, right?
Tipper them, Marth range?
Kind of, though. That's crazy, because the fear happens no matter what.
Yeah,
But the slow only happens if they're further away, which I guess is like a catch-up mechanic. But fuck, that's crazy.
That's insane, yeah. But
remove that. Fixed.
Maybe remove that, yeah. Honestly, that might be it. I don't think Hecarim has any... I don't think Hecarim has any other problems, like, to be honest.
No, he's, like, pretty basic. Like, his passive's a little bit boring, but it's based on his whole kit, you know what I mean? Like, his Q... Yeah,
that was my only suggestion, was,
starter-ish.
like, maybe his interaction with movement speed shouldn't be that way, but also, who cares? It's fine. Yeah, I think he's a fine character.
I think if he ever becomes like a more meta and top lane again, maybe you can like nerf the healing from his W on minions, but I don't think it's like a bad thing.
Yeah, I think it's fine the way that they handle it actually, where you heal up to a capped like fixed amount, like a flat amount. Mm-hmm. And that I think that can only be exceeded by damage to champions, which is how it should be.
Yeah, I think it's a great mechanic. I just think like that is part of the reason why he's a strong top lane sometimes.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't think it should ever be nerfed for jungle or anything.
No, I don't think so either.
Cool. That was an easy one.
Yeah.
Heimerdinger, who I think is a lot harder.
I think like this is going to be a difficult character to even like adjust, I guess, because he has such a specific play style.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I would like. I like every part of his kit except for his like how his turrets actually work. Mm-hmm. I think it should be I don't like that it's a charge-based system. I think it should be I think it should just be a cool maybe it should be a charge-based system with a shorter cooldown, but the turrets don't last forever.
I like the idea of it being charge-based.
Yeah, I do too. And I like the idea of him being able to just like unload three turrets, right?
I think that's the funnest. Like the worst part about it when you're playing it is like when you don't have 3 to unload.
yeah, for sure. And I don't think that should be changed, I guess. But I also don't like that like then he just becomes immovable from lane. Like he almost becomes ungankable too, which I think is problematic. So maybe they have like a timer or something before they expire, and the cooldown of the turrets are reduced to compensate that.
Maybe it might be easier coming back to the turrets. I think his other abilities are like easier. I think his W and his E are fine personally.
Yeah, I think so too.
What about his ultimate? Do you like the fact that he gets an empowered version of his abilities?
Sort of, but I was just hit with the fucking greatest idea I've ever had. Are you fucking ready? I am ready. When he ults, his abilities are cast from his turrets as well.
Wait,
for a short duration.
Spit out another turret or no?
So I guess like his W and his E then.
Okay, that'd be funny.
Maybe he can choose. So maybe he can choose between like dropping the big turret if he needs to, or copying his making his turrets shoot the abilities as well.
Yeah.
Like instead of just shotgunning some missiles, like every single one of his turrets would fire missiles at the target.
Yeah, I would love that, and maybe like the Q bonus would be like actually just like always having 3 charges or something like that.
Yeah.
Like of his Q. So like you can plant, they still cost mana to plant. You can only have up to 3 still, but like if they get destroyed, you can put down like them immediately again.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be fine.
Yeah,
like
it's
like a 10-second like buff or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think his biggest issue, and then maybe give him a real passive. What's current passive currently is you move faster when you're near towers and turrets deployed by Heimerdinger.
That's really bad. That's an awful passive. Remember his old passive where you heal turrets slowly, like 5 health a second or something like that? Or it wasn't even that. It was like 1 health every 5 seconds.
It was just like everything had health regen next to Heimerdinger.
Yeah, so like late game, your strategy, if you're like your Nexus turret or something, like a turret, like your base turrets, the ones that don't regen, you just put them by there and you just heal up your base turret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would we change that to if we were able to?
Honestly, something. What do you? This might be too crazy. What if he got 10% CDR by every turret?
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
10% ability haste, but
ability. I think it works better with ability haste too. What if it's like 10%? And like, what if like actual turrets on the map work as well? So you can have up to 40% ability haste, like by putting your 3 turrets plus the turret down.
I like that.
I actually think that's pretty cool, man.
I like that. Then you that sort of works with like Heimerdinger's workshop fantasy sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is like, this is my fucking strong suit. Like, you guys can wait it out or you can try to fight me in it. And those are your two options.
Oh, that's really cool. I like how he has a little base of operations.
I really like that. The one thing I miss about Heimer is his do you remember his turrets used to scale and change color based on the amount of points you had in it? And eventually you got the red turrets.
Yeah, the ones that lowered armored magic resistance.
Yeah, and dealt a little bit of AoE damage if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Oh, that's so cool. I really like that idea.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, so the reality is, no matter how you make Heimer, unless you completely change the fact that he's a turret maker, he's always going to be a cancer character, but like, you can try to make him fun at least, right?
Yeah. Like, he's definitely going to be cancer and a, like, I guess, zone denying champion is the best way to describe it. But I don't think that zone denial should be permanent. I think it should just be temporary, I guess.
Yeah, it should be like easily removed, but it shouldn't like be easily removed and then him make him like have zero fun because you remove this stuff, right?
Yeah. Like, it shouldn't be fun. It shouldn't not be fun for both of them, like, based on if the turrets are there or not.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Cool.
I feel good about that one.
I feel good about that one too. I was worried that I was honestly worried that we were not going to be able to talk long enough about Heimerdinger specifically, but I think we fixed him. Like, we got down to his core issues pretty quick.
Heimer's definitely one of those characters that we could have like spent like an hour prepping individually both and come up with like a bunch of different kits, but I feel like there's infinite things you can do with them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cool.
He's just a character that needs a little bit of identity help.
Little oomph. What about Illaoi? Illaoi's the other character we thought was going to be a bit of a mess.
Yeah. So,
what are her problems? Let's define those first. Her main problem is that as playing her, she's an E-bot. Like, you just throw out your E on cooldown, and if you hit it, you win a trade. If you don't hit it, you lose a trade.
Yeah.
Which makes it, if you're playing against her, you wait for that cooldown. If she misses it, you can trade on her. And that's like your gameplay pattern. And then once she hits 6, if she pops ult, you leave the fight, and then you come back in after it's over. And that's how you, like, I don't know. That's her problem, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. So her E should definitely be changed.
Yeah, her E needs to be changed.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if she, like... I honestly think if she pulls your spirit, it should just instantly go to, like, the tentacles start spawning and randomly start hitting you. And there's none of that, like...
remove that completely.
Well, I was going to say, like, keep that, but just get rid of the fucking, like, your spirit is taking damage that echoes to your body.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's fucking lame, in my opinion.
So I could see that completely. I could also see the exact opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but she pulls your soul, and you can still fight her. And like the whole point is that she can now like double damage you plus your soul with like all of her abilities, right? Because they're all AoE abilities. Mm-hmm. But I really do hate the soul minigame. Like, you just back up and then you dodge tentacles for a little bit, and that's super unfun. I'm fine with either direction. Yeah, you either go like harder in the fact that like, yeah, she can't just double damage everything, or you commit to the double damage and have it so like the tentacle mini game doesn't like happen after. You shouldn't have just tentacles spawning. The fact that Illaoi can get a kill by someone running away from a tentacle and then it spawning and killing someone is crazy to me.
It is. Yeah.
I think both those approaches are fine, but like her actual abilities, like her Q's fine, her W's fine. Her W makes I think her W is actually cool as fuck, and I feel like it's underutilized.
It is.
Her passive's fine, where it spawns tentacles everywhere. It's kind of like Zyrags. Maybe it's like a little bit like maybe there needs to be more of them, and then maybe they do less damage or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then her E's problematic, and her ult. Her ult I actually don't think is that cancerous. I think it just needs to like counterplay.
I agree. Hear me out. So, do you remember Pontiff Sullivan from Dark Souls 3, the guy who basically just summons a stand?
Oh, yeah.
What if Illaoi did that? Like, she basically, like, knocks her own spirit out and behind her, and then after, like, a second delay, any ability she casts is echoed, like, in the same place. Or like, cool. From her body again. So she Qs, and then a second later, her spirit Qs.
I would love like.
Oh, that'd be dope.
There's lots of cool things. You can make it like more interactive, even if you wanted to keep it as like this circle thing. Make it so like she casts the things. Like have it like be an echo. Like if you're on like say you ult, right? Mm-hmm. If you cast your Q, it like echoes from the other side as well, or from like a couple different sides or whatever like that. If you W, it like hits all your tentacles that you spawn down, or like just like you gotta have some interaction. The fact that it like summons a bunch of tentacles and when you hit them, it hits them. Like it's kind of lame.
Yeah. Like it echoes the slam, but that's kind of it. And granted, like that's a fucking dope. Like it's super fun to play as Illaoi and do that. Like when you're 1v4ing and your tentacles are slamming everybody. Like that's the peak of her play. Yeah. But I think that's not very fun to play against. And I think it could use a little bump, a little boost.
I think it would also be cool, I'm not sure how well this works, if they replaced a lot of her healing with shielding.
Okay.
I do think healing is a bit of a cancerous mechanic. This is also something that could be changed. So we like talked about on the show tonight. Episode 443, for those who go back and listen. We talked about how Riot wants to change how Grievous Wounds and healing works and stuff like that. They think healing's too big and Grievous Wounds are maybe like a little bit too weak or too hard to get, right? I kind of agree with that. I feel like she kind of like a lot of characters out heal Grievous Wounds, and she's one of them. Like when she starts getting those big slams, you Grievous Wounds her. Every single person on your team has Grievous Wounds. She's still gonna out heal everyone if she's like hitting like huge ults, right?
Yeah,
because she heals for maximum health, I believe, with her passive.
Yep, 5% max health when a tentacle hits. So that could be, if one of your Qs is hitting 2 champions, that's 10% of your max HP.
Yeah, and you're in your ult, you're hitting like 5
that's the
Qs.
thing. 5 tentacles hitting 5 people.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. There's no way you out heal that. So like, I feel like a shielding mechanic would be like really cool. Like it's a shield that's like persistent until her ult ends or something like that. And it like just is massive.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe that would be part of. So her healing, I believe, is attached to her Q. So maybe whenever she hits someone when she's not in her ulti, the shield starts decaying immediately. But whenever it's in her ulti, maybe the shield persists until the ulti runs out.
Yeah, something like that would like it feels a little bit better at least. I think. It's something that's easier to balance around. I think healing, unless like once again, this could be absolutely fine with healing, but we'd have to see after they change Grievous Wounds and how they're going to do all that stuff. I think.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I think like an easy fix is allow Grievous Wounds to stack. So if it's
stack or do more than 50% or 40% or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, maybe it's like the initial application is 50%, and every unique champion application increases it by like 10 more %, so you get up to like 90% if every single person on your team builds a Grievous Wound.
It hits them within that 3-second scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a really good way of fixing that, I think.
Mm-hmm. But again, that's something that like can be looked at, I guess. And it probably should work on shields too.
Yeah. I mean, shielding has its own, like, they need to add more anti-shielding characters. I think Blitz and Reckon are great ideas. I'm surprised they haven't done more yet, but I'm sure we'll see that as, like, stuff changes.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Illaoi's cool. I just think, like, she's very one-dimensional right now, and just any form of counterplay is a huge improvement to her overall kit.
Yeah. Yeah. She's very, like, not interactive. It's a pretty binary lane.
Yeah, and it's really annoying to lose too when you just like feel like you don't get to do much. So,
yeah,
cool. Next we have Irelia.
All right. So while I think this character can be problematic, like we both talked about, we discussed it before the show. I think she's fine, like kit wise. I think it's just a numbers thing.
And I also think like a lot of her stuff is like clear gameplay. Like, here's what I should do versus her. When she stacks up 5 stacks to her passive, I shouldn't fight her. When she has 5 stacks to her passive and Conquer, I probably lose fights. And I feel like a lot of that is like players just not fully understanding that, I think.
Yeah.
That being said, she does stack that stuff maybe too fast. Like her stacking, I guess she only stacks off characters. Maybe it's not that bad. It just feels like she stacks stuff too quickly.
She stacks it on creeps with abilities.
Did she?
I think whenever she casts an ability and hits a unit.
Oh, sorry. I can't. It just says it refreshes the duration on creeps.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it says Irelia gains 1 stack of Ionian Fever for every champion hit by her abilities, or if she hits at least one. Wait, if she hits at least one non-champion, stacking up to 5 times. Wait, that's so confusing. Oh, so it means every spellcast can like give you 1 on minions, but like if you used your E across a wave, it wouldn't give you 5.
Oh, but if you hit 5 champions, it would give you 5
stack.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah, because like I thought she always stacked it quickly, but I always did think it was champions. But yeah, so like that's the only problem, right? Is that if you have a wave that she can like queue through with Trinity Force like is crazy on her because she can just like 1-hit minions. She queues like 5 minions and then she has 5 stacks immediately, right? That's kind of spooky. But other than that, like she's pretty easy to play around. Like don't fight her when she has her stacks or conquer her up, and like you probably win trades.
Yeah. So I think the initial fix is remove the bonus damage to minions.
Yeah.
Because that probably shouldn't happen. Especially for an ability that costs like 20 mana. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. It's something like that. Yeah, it is exactly 20 mana.
Yep. That's a little problematic. And then, oh man, I almost want to say don't let it apply on hit effects, but I think that's
it's so
too
core
much.
to her thing,
yeah, I think so. It's just kind of cancer. Like the recent Irelia build has been like Blade of the Ruin King focus since it does 12% max HP.
Yep.
Or current HP.
That's his own issue though, I think. With that, right?
No, I think so as well.
But yeah, when she starts to get like popping off and she has like Blade of the Ruin King, Wit's End, Trinity Force, like all these things, you're like, it's kind of gross now.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't think it's like bad mechanic. I like the fact that she jumps around. I think her W is fine. I think damage reduction like channels is a great mechanic. I think I've added maybe a little bit too many of them in the game, but I think it's a good mechanic. Her E is I think her E is so fucking sick. The fact that you can like cast it, jump through a bunch of shit, then drop it. Oh, it's so sick. And it's also like it's a very high skill ability, and it still only like stuns them for like what 0.75 seconds or something. It's like tiny. It feels. I think that's like one of the coolest abilities.
I agree. I also think there's like ample counterplay with that ability. Like when she's trying to use it, you know she's gonna try to use it on you. So yeah, I like that. I think like maybe don't allow her W to add a stack of your passive even if she has a champion with it.
It is weird. It feels like that's just like. I mean, I never see good Irelia players like win because they hit that, but I do see a lot of bad Irelia players use it to get a stack.
yeah. Like it should be a defensive tool that you can't like does a little bit of bonus damage. Like I would be fine if it didn't even do damage, to be honest. But it definitely shouldn't apply like your most core part of your kit, I suppose.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think she's fine.
What about her ultimate?
I like her ulti.
I think it's one of the coolest like looking ultimates.
I agree, yeah.
I feel like the damage on it's like really weird. Like sometimes it feels like it does nothing and sometimes it does like a lot. But I feel like that's just I don't know. Can you get hit by both parts, the initial impact and the thing, or does you only get hit by one?
Yes.
You can, okay. So that is a lot when you get hit by both. If you get hit by both, it's 700 damage.
Yes, that's what it looks like.
At max rank.
And slowed by 90% for a second and a half.
I thought disarming was so cool, but I feel like that just doesn't work with how strong of a character she is and how aggressive she is.
Yeah, especially with how her how her W used to work, where it just reduced damage.
Yeah.
So it would be incredibly problematic, where you disarm AD characters and take a shit ton of reduced damage from AP characters. You just become unkillable.
If her E wasn't already so balanced, the stun ability, I feel like that would be a cool place to put a disarm on her character, because I feel like a disarm makes sense for a kit, but I just feel like it's fine being a stun.
I agree. I think the only other change I would make is reducing the effectiveness of the heal on minions from her Q.
Yeah.
Because in combination with some of the other items she builds, it gets kind of problematic. Where she's building Wit's End, she's building Blade of the Ruin King, she's building Death Dance, and then her Q heals her for a minimum of 20% of your attack damage.
Yeah, so she feels like one of those characters where like I never know where the heal is coming from. I know it's her Q, like, but it just feels like it shouldn't be that big.
It's just surprising every time.
It's so much loaded into like a one thing that can happen, right? So if you're losing to an Irelia, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say you're playing Shen top and she's a Irelia who's running Sanguine Blade or Blade of the Rune King, right? One of the two. I don't know who would be in that situation because that's a winning lane. But you trade her really hard and she's down to 20% HP. She one hits the entire wave with her Q, healing 20% of her AD value for all 6 minions, stacking her passive to 5. Like, that's crazy. That's like all that happening at once is like I think the crazy part, right?
Yeah, yes, and since it looks like it's total AD, like even at level like 1, that's probably like at the very minimum like a 15 heal per minion.
Yeah.
Or per Q used, not even per minion.
Yeah.
So just like reducing the effectiveness of that would be, I think, a big start.
Yeah, I think I'd be fine. Like even having it would be like more than fine. I think.
Yeah, halving it against minions.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fine.
Having it like big on characters is fine always.
Oh, absolutely. It should heal like on like and I sort of like that where she becomes a good like she's a really powerful duelist if she hits her abilities. Like it's super cool.
Yeah, I feel like she's really cool. I just feel like she's a character that a lot of people complain about. I mean, both of us complain about her a fair bit, but
mostly because I can't play her.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if I understood her better and maybe was better at the game, I wouldn't feel the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. And last but not least is Ivern, who I think is hard to talk about personally, but we'll see where we can go with this.
I think so too. Mostly because I think he's fine. Like I don't think he's too powerful, but he definitely does what he's supposed to do just fine.
I don't think you can change his passive at all.
Nope. That is his that's his kit.
So like if you were going to change anything about his passive, it would be the fact that should red and blue give extra buffs, I guess. But like so the idea for them giving extra buffs is that if you want to give a buff to your teammates, you can't wait. I don't know, what's the idea behind it?
So usually junglers leash for their buffs, right? Later in the game, or a second buff maybe when everyone's still in the laning phase. But Ivern's not able to do that because he can't actually kill it or enter combat with it. So he has to like the best he could do is shield, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I guess it just feels weird now though because I feel like no one gives their mid or AD carry like second buff anymore ever.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you saw a mid laner get second blue?
Honestly, probably someone I was in a call with.
Yeah. Like, that used to be so common, though, right? Like, you'd always give your mid second blue.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also a greedy jungler, but I don't think I've given my jungler, like, third blue ever, like, in the last, like, year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that doesn't need to be a thing. I don't know. Huh. I think it's problematic, though. I think maybe level 5 is a little bit too early right now for it. It does feel really bad when you're playing against blue side Ivern or blue side Ivern bottom lane, or I guess like you know what I mean, the opposite, like the fact that the AD carry gets a free red at level 5, or the top laner gets a free red at level 5, or the bottom lane gets a free blue, or the mid gets a free blue, or whatever. It's like that's sometimes unfun, but I feel like it's not a bad mechanic. Maybe they need to like move it till later.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe,
everything else is fine.
Maybe lock it behind like level 9 or something.
Yeah, I think I'd be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe so. I think the only other like shitty part about his kit is his W, but I think his other abilities are so strong that you almost have to, like, let him have a shitty ability because his other abilities are so impactful and powerful.
His Q's great and his E's great. Like both of them are like very strong abilities.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant. Like Daisy's okay.
Yeah. We'll get to Daisy in a second, but yeah, what do you think about bushes?
I think they're kind of trash.
So the only thing they do other than provide, in theory, like utility from vision is that they amplify damage. Do they only amplify damage for him, or is it for his allies?
It's just for him.
So it's just for him, and it's on hit damage. Fuck. They used to give him range because he used to be melee.
But now he's just a ranged character permanently.
Yeah. They feel like they need something else because it feels like an ability that like it's strong, but the enemy can get the strength out of it as well.
What? Okay, hang on. What if it randomly like planted one of the plants inside the middle of the bush? Like you weren't sure which one it was going to be, but like maybe I'll get Scry's Orb. Maybe I'll get Blast Cone.
I hate everything about this.
I hate it too, but I kind of I feel like that fits his character pretty well.
It'd be fun, yeah.
Or maybe it rotates like in a set pattern, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish you could. They need something, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you should ever fuck with vision, but I was like, there's a world in which maybe like you get like wider vision, but I feel like that I don't want to fuck with vision ever in the game. I don't think.
I agree.
Maybe everyone on your team can get the bonus damage, but I feel like that becomes like a gimmicky, like make sure you're standing in the bush when you auto attack, like sort of thing.
It is.
There's got to be something, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's that this is definitely the hardest like ability to fix.
How do wards work? If someone has a ward in a bush and you put your bush on top of that bush, can they see the rest of the bush?
I think it still grants vision.
I think so as well. I mean, once again, like that's even like fucking with the vision because that's like confusing. I think for the game. I don't know. There's something here. I don't think we're smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I would love them to change his bush somehow. Like
I think so too. This is definitely like something that we're like something about his bush needs to change, but I'm not quite sure what it is.
I think it could be a way shorter cooldown.
I think so too.
It's 40 seconds at rank 1, 24 at rank 5. I feel like those numbers could be like maybe not maybe halved. Halved isn't that crazy actually.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's like a strong enough utility thing that like him putting up a bush every 12 seconds ruins your game.
The only oppressive part about it is if the Ivern team is ahead, because then they can just sit in any bush.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not a bad thing.
I find also like sieging mid is sometimes a little bit rough, like when he
Yeah.
like puts down bushes, so like you can dip it of like poke pretty easily, but
I don't know.
I don't think it's like bad to buff though. That's something I would like to buff on him. It definitely feels like his worst ability by like maybe Daisy. I don't know. Daisy's probably fine.
I think Daisy's fine, but like I said, like his Q and his E are so strong that I think he has to kind of have a shitty ability to make him balanced.
Yeah.
So,
how would you change Daisy?
Man, I don't know.
I would be fine with it lasting longer.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a like an easy buff. Like Annie ult, for example, I think lasts just until
I think
it
you can have
dies.
100% uptime.
Or is it just it just lasts a long time? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it lasts a long time. I think Tibbers lasts for like 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds.
Tibbers lasts 45, yeah, but it's on
45,
an 80-second cooldown, whereas Ivern is Daisy's 120.
And does he last 40 seconds as well?
60, but maybe but it's double the
Yeah.
length. So maybe it's like lower the cooldown on Daisy. I feel like having Daisy up more often isn't like a negative thing. Like I'm never like, oh fuck, Daisy just killed me. Like sometimes it's annoying, but it's never like she's never OP.
Yeah. Maybe changing her auto attack knock-up thing to 2, but reducing the knock-up duration.
I would be fine with that, yeah.
Like halving the
Like, just
knock-up
like-
duration, but it only takes 2 hits.
Like more like a bump, yeah.
Yeah. Something to disrupt, but not to like oppress.
I think I'd be that'd be a huge buff.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I feel like there are so many times in which like you get 2 hits off and then they just run away from the third one.
Yeah. And like I also think they could like buff her so like the way her resists work is she scales with AP. Like obviously she scales up with level. It's 15, 40, 90 for armor magic resist. I feel like you'd have that scale with like his armor magic resist rather than AP personally.
I think so too. I almost
Because 90's not a lot.
It's not a lot. I also feel like she should scale somehow with heal and shield power.
Ooh.
I'm not sure how. Like maybe the damage is increased with heal and shield power.
Mm-hmm.
So Ivern chooses to do more damage with his abilities, but is less generally supportive than he otherwise would be.
Yeah.
Or Daisy does a lot of damage. Daisy does a lot of damage, but Ivern is less like his other abilities are less useful.
Yeah.
Something
I
like
would like
that.
that, yeah. I just feel like AP is a weird thing to scale with because the older way you're picking up AP is like through those like pseudo support items, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're picking up like an Ardent or
Athenes.
something like that. Yeah, Athenes.
Yeah. And I agree with you. And that's sort of where I was going because like his core build involves a lot of heal and shield power, but not a lot of AP. Like maybe he's getting 100 AP.
Yeah, and every single Daisy stat scales off AP. That's crazy.
Yeah. So maybe like mixing what those scale with would be interesting.
Yeah, you're definitely never going full AP to Ivern to like get.
Yeah,
Daisy
that's
to
what I
hit
mean.
hard.
It's like you're not going a full death gap, so Daisy could one hit some guy.
It'd be funny though.
If you get 1,000 AP, Daisy should just kill everyone instantly.
Ivern has some nutty ratios.
Does he?
I'm looking at it. His Q is 0.7. His the bonus damage from his bush is 0.3, but that's on hit damage. His shield and pop damage is 0.8. And then Daisy's ratios are 0.5 for her health, 0.3 for her AD, and then 0.5 for her armor and magic resist. Those are pretty good ratios overall on his kit.
Maybe then you could go like a high AP Nashor's build
Yeah.
to make
You know, it'd
use
be an
of it.
insane thing if you could do with Ivern. You build Zeke's, but you can Zeke's your Daisy.
Oh, that'd be sick.
So if you alt like this Daisy has a slow on her as well, like
Yeah.
oh, I'd love that.
Maybe Daisy becomes permanent max rank. And
I
you
don't
can-
think Daisy being permanent would be bad, man.
I don't think so either.
like.
Like
I don't think
maybe you
there's
can
no
kill
way-
her and it puts the ultimate on a short cooldown, but she no longer has a duration. How about that?
I think what if it was like she like dies for like 30 seconds? She like can just respawn. She's auto respawns by you or something.
Yeah,
like
she
that.
she doesn't expire though.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
I think that'd be fine too.
She just fucking hangs out jungles. with
Yeah.
her.
That'd be dope.
I like that a lot. That's so much fun.
I think we fixed her.
I think Ivern's fixed. Yeah,
I think Ivern's fixed. I think every one of these characters is fixed. We did it.
I think we actually that's like pretty good. I feel like the only one we could have maybe spent more time with was Heimerdinger, but I feel like that's one that you could spend probably like hours on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
would
say. It's
love-
like we could do a dissertation on Heimerdinger.
That would be the most interesting champion like probe like one trick podcast. You get a couple Heimer mains like to discuss like where they would like him to go. That would be so cool.
Because I feel like each one of them could go in a different direction that would be equally as right.
Yeah, that's cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. This will be up. Well, I guess you guys don't need to know when it will be up. But next month we are covering what characters are you covering?
J. First half of J.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of J's, isn't there?
Oh no.
I'm trying to.
Oh,
find
1,
the
2,
thing.
3, 4, 5, 6. Oh,
No,
we'll
it's
do
K
we'll
that
do
there's a
J's.
ton of.
Yeah. It was the K champions.
Yeah. So next month we'll be doing Janna, Jarvan, Jax, Jace, Jhin, and Jinx. So
We got some
I'm
good
excited for
characters
this.
to work with.
Yeah, your boy Jarvan.
Hell
He'll need
yeah.
some work.
Hey, spoiler, his W is the worst ability in the game, actually.
His W is sad, man.
It's worse than Ivern Bush.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next month. Bye.
Poggers, bye.